077 Derby DE10NP. Those texts cost £1.50 plus one message at standard network rate. Lines close midday tomorrow, and 3 days later for postal entries. We'll contact the winner and announce their name on channel5.com and on our next show. And the very best of luck to you all. Now, Manchester United and Athletic Bilbao have previous, but you've got to go back to exactly a year before the Munich air crash to find it. February the 6th, 1957, when United had to recover a 5-3 deficit. Now, the second leg was played at Main Road because Old Trafford had no floodlights. Movie-tone news were there.
Floodlights at Main Road, Manchester. Having lost 3-5 in Bilbao, United must beat their opponents by 3 clear goals to reach the semi-finals of the European Cup. They begin with an opening offensive that already seems to point the way to victory. But Atletico de Bilbao are renowned as a crack Spanish 11, and Manchester knows it only too well. 4 minutes before half-time, Manchester's Violet goes through, and it's a goal! After the interval, we saw some dangerous Bilbao attacks, and we were glad we weren't defending the Manchester goal. United weren't long in reversing the situation, taking the ball into Bilbao's half. Jones gives Carmelo a bump, but Bilbao's goalie isn't easily put off, although he can't keep it up forever. Manchester's second came from a free kick, Taylor doing the rest. He and Berry made the third, and Manchester was set for the semi-finals.
I know what you're thinking. Where was the third goal? But trust me, in those days, just a flickering bit of football was fine.
It was, and I was reading the programme that you've got there, Jim, and Sir Matt Busby actually mentioned that the first game in Bilbao, which ended 5-3, was one of the best games he ever saw in his career, and that says something for a man that been there, done it, got the lot.
Absolutely. This is the programme, and I'd just like to point you towards the date, 6th of February, exactly a year to the day. The Munich air crash happened the year after. And that great Manchester United team that played in the 2-3-5 formation, legendary names around Old Trafford, well, sadly, Coleman, Byrne, Jones, Edwards, Taylor, Whelan and Pegg all perished a year later. Down to pitch side, and a word from Pat Nevin about that Busby era.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, that is probably the reason why Manchester United is such a historical, I was going to say club, but an institution, you can say as much as that. Near mythical status for many people who look at it from out with Manchester and out with England. They come and they visit this place, and it's almost like a shrine, even all these years later. And that's why for so many years there was so much sympathy, so much love, not from everywhere, not along the road from here, towards this club. And then the rebuild that came from that, Sir Matt Busby, and the way that he rebuilt it with style. And Sir Alec, he's just carried it on.
Yeah, I think that, you know, going back to somebody like Duncan Edwards, that comes from not far from my patch, very much revered still in the West Midlands, as he is in Manchester, and Manchester United as a club have always promoted youth ever since.
Well, there's a modern-day Fergie fledgling in goal for United, 21-year-old David De Gea. United wouldn't have been here tonight if it hadn't been for their much-scrutinised keeper. The Spaniard, a Europa League winner with Atletico Madrid, has found his form. He answers his critics next.
The UEFA Europa League presented by SEAT.